On Two Wheels this week, Wayne takes us behind the scenes at the Sheffield Supercross. Jeff takes a ride on Suzuki's monstrous GSX 1400 and we'll show you how to make huge improvements to your brakes. I'm going to give you a demonstration of braking. I'm going to show you how you can do an emergency stop, and I'm going to show you just how quickly you can stop a motorcycle. Very simple exercises. All I'm going to do is I'm going to ride from here, just up there. It's only 30 yards or so away, maybe not that. U-turn back, and when I get to exactly this point, there's a grid on the floor down here, so I know exactly the same point. I'm going to apply my brakes, and I'm going to try and stop as quick as I can. You just see how long it takes me to stop. So here we go, over the edge. Love these off-road bikes. Now then, we won't be going very fast. First gear, second gear, brake now. Just about managed to lock up the back wheel there, but that wasn't really that impressive. So let's get off the bike. I've got a little bar here. This is my measuring stick. I'll put that there, and that's how long it took me. What's that? 12 foot, 14 foot, something like that. Not very impressive, and not really a highly scientific experiment, but the point I'm trying to make is that on a machine like this is 10 years old now, this bike, it's an old machine, the brakes basically are crap. And why are the brakes crap? Because the biggest problem that you have with brakes on any machine that's a few years old are the brake hoses themselves, these bits, because they're rubber. And what happens, and you don't notice it happening really because it's a gradual thing, it happens over a period of time, is it goes soft. The walls of these hoses go soft, and when you apply the brake, instead of all the fluid going down and getting all the force in the caliper and gripping the disc and stopping the bike, the walls of the hoses give, they expand, they go squidgy. You'd never know it by feeling them, but they actually do under pressure from the brake levers. So the brakes are rubbish. So the best thing you can do to a machine of this age to improve the brakes is to fit some new hoses, some braided hoses. We've all seen them before, haven't we? So I've got a nice set of braided hoses, and I know just the man to do the job. I'm talking, of course, about our very own bike doctor, Gary Thompson. Gary's first job was to make sure that the new hoses would actually fit. We chose to use Goodrich hoses, which we bought as a complete kit at a cost of £25 per hose. So, in this particular machine, which has a very simple braking system consisting of just a single disc at the front and rear with just one hose on each, that came to £50. First then we need to remove the old rubber hoses, and because brake fluid is corrosive, it's important to cover any areas which may get splashed when the old fluid is drained out. Paintwork is particularly vulnerable to damage from brake fluid, so again we need to protect it when the hose is removed from the fluid reservoir. With the old hose completely removed from the machine, detach the rubber clamps. These will be needed to secure the new braided hoses in position. You'll notice that one end of the new hose has a slight kink. This is the lower end, and this attaches to the caliper. When feeding in the new hose, it's important to make sure it follows the same route as the old. And this should ensure that there are no nasty kinks or bends which could affect the braking system. Our brake line kit included new banjo bolts and crush washers, and these must be used when connecting the new hose to the caliper and the reservoir. Make sure though that all surfaces are perfectly clean before any connections are made. And then with the new hose clamped in place and both ends tight, the new brake fluid can be added and the system bled to remove any air. Before riding the machine, we need to check that the new brake line doesn't snag or become kinked when the steering is moved from lock to lock, and also that the hose doesn't become over tight when the front suspension unloads. Replacement of the rear brake line follows exactly the same procedure as the front. And that's all there is to it. It's no big, massively technical task changing the hoses. What we've also done on this machine is we've put new pads in it, front and rear, and it's a very simple machine, as you know. Single disc front, single at the back, so set of pads, about 30 quid they've cost us for this. Just under 30 quid actually. 50 quid for the pair of hoses, so we spent 80 quid. Was it worth it? Has it made a difference? Well, my marker is down there, so you know how long it took me to stop last time. Let's see if we can improve it. Here we go. Spin it round. I can't go very fast. Just get first gear, second gear. And there we go. Well, I don't know about you, but I think that's quite impressive. Alright, this isn't very scientific, I know that, I said that at the start. It's not a scientific experiment, and you might think that's not a big difference, not a big improvement, but it is, as that improvement there, as a percentage of the overall stopping distance, is quite a big percentage. And of course, the faster you go, the bigger the difference in the before and after becomes, if you understand what I mean. And if you look very carefully then, we might just show you again, I managed a tiny little stoppie, which is not easy on a bike like this when the front end dives as soon as you brake, and certainly I couldn't do that before with the old hoses.
Well, from behind the scenes this week on Two Wheels, we've come to behind the scenes at a Supercross meeting. This is going to be a British and international event, and we happen to be at Sheffield Arena. It's a hive of activity down there, all sorts of earth-moving machinery. And they need a lot of earth-moving machinery because there's a lot of earth. Would you believe there's round about 2,000 tonnes of the stuff, and it's been brought in with more than 100 wagons. That is going to take a big brush to clean that up later on. But I'll bring you a little bit more information about what goes on behind the scenes a little later. First of all, I've got to go and get myself a seat because you see, these seats are a big sellout job here. There's going to be several thousand people here later on. Row 6, there we go, there we are. Now then, and you've got to get your seat early. Then again, 24 hours early and probably just a bit premature. Major event like this needs a major organiser, and the man behind the whole thing is a guy called John Hallam. John Hallam happens to be a Canadian. Well, in actual fact, he was born in Yorkshire, and that's why he's come back to the UK to show us his fantastic ability in organising a major international Supercross meeting such as this one. He enlists his friends and also the family as well, and it's all hands-on. They all get dirty. In fact, Justin was putting out the bales earlier on, the poor lad, doing some heavyweight work. You've got Claude, apparently he's a friend of the family, and Claude drives these devices and helps set the circuit out. I tell you, it's a very, very clever operation. It does need a fair bit of organisational skills, and they don't need people like me driving these tractors because it would be very dangerous. That's probably why they've took the keys out. So, why am I sat on a whole bundle of straw bales? Well, obviously they need these to form the safety fence around the circuit, and they're going to need several hundred of them, and some poor blight has got to bag them, and then when they bag them, distribute them around the circuit to form the fencing area, if you want, so the lads at least know what direction they've got to ride in, and of course it makes it look colourful and pretty. Well, you can't come to a motorcycle event, certainly not one as grand as this, without actually meeting up with some of the riders. But we're a bit choosy who we speak to. We only like to speak to people that are interested. Now, it might give the game away here, but the bike behind us, you might see, has got a number on the side, 253. Then it's got FT, representing foot, because the owner of this bike is Jason Rennie, and we featured him on the programme before because he's the world record holder, 250 foot ramp to ramp jump. In fact, Jason's sat next to me here very nice and quietly. Jason, how are you then?
I'm alright, yeah.
So what's a bloke? Because I know your background, I know your background in motocross, but what are you doing Supercross?
Well, I used to race Supercross back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, and I gave it all up about 1992. But
you must have been 14 when you did that, then, or something.
No, I was 16 when I started, yeah. Actually, yeah, 13, I think. Yeah, I finished Supercross in 92, finished racing all motocross and Supercross events, and then obviously got into the jumping game, and now we've conquered a few records on that, and I just fancy having to play through the winter time now with a few Supercross events.
Don't be modest.
I do struggle. After about lap 2, I'm starting to struggle fitness-wise. I'll never get the fitness back that I had years ago when I used to race, but the good thing is now I can treat it as fun. You know, I can go out there, enjoy a night's racing, no pressure on me, not expecting to win or anything.
That's true, no.
So whoops here are really pretty severe, so I think that'll sort out everybody in the racing, like us to get through the checkered flag first, because they are very severe. This is a practice bike. I use this when I go messing about up the quarry, or I got a local quarry where we mess about on dirt jumps and that. And a few of my mates race motocross, so that's why I joined a motocross club just recently to get back racing with them, really, for a bit of fun. Outdoor motocross.
So you decided to have a go at this indoor lag.
And then I decided to have a go at this indoor lag a few weeks ago.
I gather you won your first final, didn't you? Yeah.
I raced in the NEC a couple of weeks ago, and I won the AMCA final, so I was pretty pleased with that.
I should think you were and all. Well, we'll leave you to your practice, and all the very best. Thanks again,
right.
Jason. We'll catch up with
later.
you. Cheers. So as you can see, there's an awful lot goes on when it comes to producing an event like this. In fact, they're still doing it now. There's a few odd practicing occurring. In fact, they're setting up the ramps and the landing bit for the guys who do the freestyle stuff in the interval of the main event. And next time you see us at Behind the Scenes, we'll show you a little bit of the racing, where there'll be about 140 motocrossers and a few of the freestylers.
Well, you won't have to wait too long, because Wayne will be back with some Supercross action after the break. Also still to come, Jeff on a GSX 1400.
1.4 litre engine, nothing special, especially in a small hatchback. But the thing is, with a 1.4 litre engine in a car, it will take 4 people on the holidays and shopping, no trouble at all. So what would a 1.4 litre engine be like in a motorbike? No, I don't mean an old Corsa engine, I mean this, the engine in the new GSX 1400 Suzuki. Yes, 1400 cc's, or 1402 to be exact, of 4-cylinder muscle, all bolted up in a neat retro-looking but brand new bike frame. We might have seen big 4-cylinder engines before, but not this big, and it really does feel it. Not in an intimidating way, just in an effortless, gentle giant way, the sort of feeling you get as a jumbo jet takes to the skies. And that's due to its massive torque, all 93 foot-pounds of it. That's a third more than the 1200 Bandit. But what else would you expect from such a massive motor? Just look at it, it absolutely dominates the bike. 1400cc, big cubes as the Americans would say. Close fins there, more pronounced fins at the top, but these are real fins, they're not just for decoration, because this engine is in fact based on the 1985 GSX-R motor. It's been updated, of course, completely redesigned, but that's why they've kept these fins here. It's oil and air cooled, hence the little radiator up there. They've redesigned the head, narrower valve angle for better breathing. It's got fuel injection, of course, and it's got a balancer shaft at the back for smoothness. But there it is, all looking very proud there, big chrome pipes, very retro, polished cases. Looks a treat. Now, it's not mega GSX-R thou powerful at 106 brake horsepower, but with all that 93 foot-pounds of torque, it's certainly powerful enough for this style of bike. After all, there's no wind protection. But there's something about this upright riding position that inspires confidence. You can hustle it along, and its neutral handling makes slicing through bends a real pleasure. At 228 kilos, it's substantial, but it doesn't feel at all heavy, and the suspension is superbly matched to the task. Now granted, these forks look like something from the 80s, but they're not, of course. Brand new again. Big 46mm stanchions, you never used to get those in the 80s. So we've got a retro look, but bang up to date. And they're fully adjustable. You've got your preload at the top there, and your rebound damping, compression damping down at the bottom there. And look, nice gold calipers as well, and 6 pots at that, clamping up on 320mm discs, alloy wheel of course. And then coming up the top here, we've got a nice chrome headlamp, very retro-ish, and the chrome instruments. Reminds me of the old Kawasaki Z1 up there, but very neat. Now I'm off the bike, you can actually get a decent look at this seat, and it really is a big seat and very, very comfortable. As I've said, the seat height isn't that high, only 790mm, but it's nice, comfortably padded, and it's stepped as well. Pillion passenger has got a nice squab as well. But not only is it big to look at and big to sit on, it's big underneath. You just unlock the old seat here. Under there, just look at this absolutely massive storage compartment. Take the handbook out. Under this tray here, separate little tray, you just click that out, the battery sits under there. But see all that space, you can get a U-lock in there, you can get waterproofs in there, tool roll sits in the back there. You could even get a small one-man tent in there, I reckon, but I've never seen such a massive area on an ordinary bike. It's almost scooter-like, isn't it? Put the seat back. And not only is it comfortable, you've also got these handy little bungee carrying things. Now I know you've seen these before. You can hook your bungee hook on there, but also you got this one which is very neat. This fold out one there, far better than putting a bungee hook around the indicators, which I know it's all too easy to do, but that's much stronger there and neatly folds away, one each side. You've got another one there. Again, nothing new there, but I like those fold out ones. On the road, this parallel example will cost you £5,899. At this price, it's no more than a Bandit, but I'd say it's worth extra because no doubt about it, this is an in-your-face, no-mistake motorbike. To me, it's much classier than a Bandit, and while not in the same stable as Suzuki's own highly flickable GSXR sports bikes, who cares? Shooting the breeze on the GSX 1400 takes on a whole new meaning.
Last time we were here at Sheffield Arena for behind the scenes, they were creating the track, they were building the circuit, and if you remember I said all we need now is a whole bunch of riders. Well, we've definitely got them. In fact, apparently there's about 150 of them trying to qualify for the main event. Noisy, aren't they? And most of them are parked down here in the car park. Regular viewers of Two Wheels should indeed recognise this gentleman, Chaz Mitchell, because Chaz, you've been a presenter on Two Wheels.
Well, we're giving it a go.
You've even organised your own motorcycle show and exhibition. In fact, you've got your fingers in all sorts of motorcycle pies, you might say.
Wayne just loved motorcycles, you know. I wouldn't be outside on this cold Sheffield evening if I didn't.
It's beautiful, it's Supercross al fresco. We've come outside because we've got to show our viewers here that it is very atmospheric. It's a hive of activity out there.
I tell you, we've got about 45 minutes to go, and look at it. I mean, they've come in their droves as always.
Yeah.
You know, Sheffield's our sort of second home. John from Canada, me from down in Essex, but we don't talk about that. And look at it, it's just brilliant. What a crowd.
So you must tell us then, what's your involvement with this event then?
Well, I got hooked up with John a couple of years ago now, and besides doing a lot of the PR to hype the show, we bring the traders in so that we've got a sort of an exhibition-y type of atmosphere. It gives people a good reason to come along, but of course the main reason goes on the dirt with those knobbly old tyres. But we've got a great lineup. You know, we've got Mike Craig, we've got Michael Brandes, we've really got, I mean, strong British. Robbie Herring out there,
Yeah,
Neil
that's
Prince.
right, Neil Prince,
man,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that
The big
450
names.
Honda.
Yeah,
Sound
awesome,
good
awesome.
or what?
And-
They've got an air horn, man. They're participating.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got an air horn because I'm not allowed things like that, but I can shout quite loud.
Yep.
And it'd be rude not to, as they say.
Well, I think if I don't hear you amongst the others in the crowd, Wayne, I will be coming to tell you about it.
Chaz, it's a pleasure meeting you again.
As
I
always.
wish you all the best with it. Whatever else you get involved in,
No,
mate.
I'm sure I'll see you, hopefully, somewhere biking again
I
soon.
would think so. It'd be
Thanks
rude
a
not
lot.
to. Now it's obvious, isn't it, that you don't just get TV crews at meetings like this, you get photographers, still photographers. Steve Skinner here is a photographer, that's why he's got his big camera in his hand.
Yeah, I've got my own bike. I used to do a bit of motocross myself. Nowhere near as good as these lads, like, we were just for a laugh.
They are special, aren't they?
And my bike's for sale, I know, because I'm having a new one next year.
Well, you can't put an advert on the front, I'm sorry, it's too expensive. The television
Going
advert
cheap.
is very expensive.
I mean, to come to a place like this and watch sort of these, well, lunatics, if you like,
Yeah.
getting off the bike in mid-air and what have you going on, it's something worth coming to watch, it's really good.
And on Two Wheels next week, it's showtime. Our team will bring you all the latest hot machinery from this year's NEC Bike Show, including exclusive rides on some of the very latest models, Peugeot's fancy new Speedfight, the latest offering from Italjet, along with Honda's new VFR and the new Fireblade-powered 900 Hornet.